Boats or bust? Come on now. We're not really there yet, right? I mean, boats and ships are not even on this first roadmap, as you can see. So I think it's a little bit too early to talk about it.
Wolfszeit journalist here. In every stream, you talk about boats and ships, and even about some kind of submarine and even the underwater continent and stuff like that, and an underwater world and stuff like that. And except for one stream, in one stream you didn't answer a question about boats and ships, but in all other streams you answered that.
What the hell? What the hell is going on? One moment. What the hell? Okay, I think I've... Did you hear that music, guys?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfszeit channel, to the Molvas stream summary. So we will look at what Henrik showed us about the Molvas, what Henrik talked about in the whole stream, and then we will go through the random questions and answers list. But first, special thanks to Canopo for helping a lot with this stream summary, a lot.
I'm happy to get cheaters away from the game. So we're actually very happy in it. Improve our systems and cover the system and security in a better way. You know that GM Discord is banning people for bad connection? No, because we have an automated system for that. So we have a system now that check a lot of things when it comes to your connection, both for security reasons and cheating reasons. And if you have an extremely bad wireless connection that have packet loss, drop connection, just go crazy. That can mean very bad gaming experience for everyone around this person. That's when you get a disconnect. No GM is running around disconnecting people. We have a system for this. With that said, we are still collecting a lot of data, tweaking these numbers and systems, where we find a clear pattern when someone is trying to do something not supposed to, and we catch those. And then there are cases where, okay, you know, there's a long distance, there are high relative ping from this location, and we're working around that to make that as safe as possible as well. Will we get a new cape with the new dungeon? Maybe you will, indeed. Maybe you will, indeed. Obviously, we noticed that people like the capes, right? Collecting, trying to catch them all and having those cool capes. So we have some plans. And bam! What do you think? What do you think, guys? Woolly Rhino, what is its purpose? So this is our old good friend. If you remember our old teaser from Mortal 1 many years ago, when a Tindremic knight rides out on this beast through the gates. So obviously this is a huge creature, very strong, high strength, very tough, tanky. Obviously a little bit slower and not as agile, but it has powerful carrying abilities. And as you know, getting closer and closer to TC, you're gonna need either wagons or beefy carry abilities to be efficient. It can attack also, yes. This will also be a very powerful or useful transportation of heavy goods, stuff like that, which will go down with TC. So obviously a little pack horse, you may have an army of those, or you can have a group of these with bags instead. Saddles and armors are being worked on as well. Horse price just dropped 95%. Well, when it comes to fast transporting players and moving around in the world, horses is still, you know, the way to go, I would say. Obviously, you can travel the world on this beast, but it won't be as quick and agile as a horse. But like I said, very strong carry abilities, and since we need quite a bit more time on the wagon system, this is a huge helpful function to have when it comes to transporting heavy goods, which will be more of a thing, obviously, with TC and sieging. Tamers know that it's, you know, one of these few creatures, right, that are useful for either PvP or PvE, and there's a lot of creatures that people ignore, right? Because they're simply worse due to hit points, speed, and damage. But what's interesting with Beastmaster is that a whole new system is coming, right? And that is the Beastmastery focus, which means all species are getting a few new abilities. So even the weakest or a Razorback can actually be used now if you specify in it and learn the skills to use its abilities, because that Razorback may do knockbacks that you may want to use for any reason, or whatever that may be. You may want to use the spiders to cast a lot of web on players, you know, modifying that factor to make it more drainful for players that have spider web on their legs. Spitting range stuff from some of the creatures. You can focus on being the pack leader of a pack wolf And if you have a combination of those wolves, you will be able to command them to howl and do specific buffs and debuffs. So there's a lot of interesting component that comes with every single species, which, you know, gonna be interesting to experiment. What does this creature bring us, and is that something I would like to use in PvP or PvE or in any other circumstances?
So now let's go through the random questions and answers list. The reputation system will come, more info in the description, the video is linked. There will also be several Molva types. For example, Model on 1 we had the Scent Molva, the Bull Molva, the Brown Molva, and also some more Molva types like the Black Molva, and I guess a few more, each with some specifics. For example, the Scent Molva was the fastest one and the Brown Molva was the one with the most strength, and I guess the Black Molva was the one that uses the less control points, and so on and so forth. So they are working heavily on Unreal Engine 5 upgradability from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. They're currently working hardcore against cheaters, so they will delete a lot of duped items and exploded gold and exploded stuff like that, and will ban all people accordingly who have abused the system. More music tracks will come over time. Server performance is increased a lot. Capes and guild emblems will come someday, that you can clearly see who is your friend and who is your enemy. Henrik claimed they had more done than Mortal Online 1 had, and I personally highly doubt that, because so much stuff is still missing. I guess I need a dedicated video for that, otherwise this would take ages to explain. Henrik wants to make the game much more immersive, and he's taking every step to do that. The Krampus Bockus event will come this Christmas again. More info to the Krampus Bockus event is linked in the description. There's a dedicated video just for that. Also, Henrik claimed he don't want to rush a balance. For example, he don't want to change the armor speed penalty and stuff like that. That is stuff that they can change later. Kicks and special moves will come to every weapon category. If you have a very low connection on purpose, for example using a leg switch and something like that, you should get banned, and Star Wars will act accordingly because they can detect that, Henrik claimed. Also very interesting, Henrik reacted on the question, will Mortal ever be a mobile game? And Henrik answered, maybe far in the future, and maybe not, but a port to the consoles can actually work. So I guess this will come first before some mobile stuff. Some quality of life stuff will come where it says where your home priest is. Steam Deck support will come maybe. The most FPS problems for the most people comes from the CPU, and they are working hardcore on optimizing that they can utilize more cores when rendering players and objects and stuff like that. Mortal will have VR support someday, Henrik said. More to VR and the face expression system linked in the description. The veteran system will improve your character build. For example, you get more action points and more profession points. Mod that also in a dedicated video in the description. This is new. An adrenaline system is planned. I heard that a few months ago from Henrik, but now he says it again. If you are outnumbered and you maybe get a buff because you are outnumbered, this is planned for the future. They're also considering costs in PvP balance. For example, if the equipment of a fighter is, I don't know, to be PvP ready 120 gold, and for mage it's 20 gold, then something is wrong if both are equal on the battlefield. I mean, currently they aren't equal, but that was just an example. Henrik don't like people that are going around and just killing random players. Henrik likes meaningful PvP and close to equal PvP. That's a real competitive fight and not a noob slaughtering gang fest. Gambling and poker and stuff will come. This is also on the current roadmap, so this is worked on. The sound system will be improved with Unreal Engine 5, and furnishers will get some boosts. For example, if you're standing near a bookshelf, you increase your reading speed with books. And one fun fact, Sarduka will not be as big as Merland, just maybe, Henrik said. It depends on the player population after launch of the Epic release. So please leave your opinion in the comment about the upcoming changes, mechanics and stuff, because I know Henrik is reading the comments. So please like, subscribe, would be awesome, and ring the bell as always, that you don't miss any news, guides and info. And thanks again for Canopo for helping a lot with the information of this stream summary. So also please leave a thanks for Canopo in the comments.
Say thanks for Canopo. Du, say thanks for Canopo. Say thanks for Canopo. Come on, Lou. What's wrong? Say thanks for Canopo. You know I'm speaking English, yeah. You don't understand English, I guess. You are a German cat.
And special thanks to all the supporters, of course. Carmel, Professor O, Lukario, Anonymous, Slum of Gaming, Rhonus, Paarthurnax, Cologne, Bulldog, you, and all the others, of course. So always remember to Molva hard, party hard, and see you all next time. Goodbye.